Ha ha. Stay winning.
Yeah.
Listen, and when it matters most, we win.
Yeah.
Right? But when it don't matter, we be losing.
What you talking about? Oh,
I'm just talking.
what you talking about?
Listen.
I haven't taken an L since.
You be taking L since last week. You was taking L's last week. You heard what they said.
Oh, you know, I predicted the Super Bowl wrong.
You did. Me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Listen, welcome back, y'all. We here, stay winning again in the building. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Tell somebody. Cut the bell icon on. We here. We gonna be here. We gonna stay here. Now look. Now tonight we're gonna talk a little bit about a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you what got my blood hyped this week.
What's that?
Tim Hardaway was giving all the smoke the business. Yo, he ain't pulled no punches. He was like, "Hey man, I got something to say about y'all talking about our competition in the 90s."
Yeah, and the skill level.
Yeah.
And all that. Yeah.
So, man, look.
What'd he say?
First of all, he gave Gil his flowers.
Okay.
He said Gil would have been able to play.
Yeah, I think so.
He said, but
Gil is a shooter, man. He's a shooter.
He was a big point guard that could score.
Yeah.
So he would have been just fine in the 90s as long as he could absorb.
Who was a big point guard that could score besides Magic back then?
So, you had the Magics, you had Penny.
Now, who would you compare Gil to? Yeah, I guess Penny is
Penny,
close,
but Penny was 6'7", right?
Yeah,
so
skinny.
The first thought that I had, and he wasn't as big as Gil, would be Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
No.
Right? But that's a different kind of scorer. But Mahmoud was like 6'1", 6'2".
That's what they list him at. He looks smaller.
See, I mean, the reality of it, like Gil was like the first, like the first of his kind, in my opinion, when it comes to that size guard.
Like 6'4",
6'3", 6'4", athletic, quick, handle, and can shoot.
Yeah, he's a shooter.
He was,
I'm not worried about his handle and all that.
If you really want to take like a guard, Joe Dumars was that size.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Joe Dumars was that size. That's 6'5", 6'4", range, strong, could shoot.
That's a good comparison.
I mean, Joe Dumars would be that, but I think Gil had more athleticism and more bounce in his game prior to the knee injuries. So, I think Joe Dumars, and it's a little bit different style, but I think Joe Dumars, from a size perspective, would match Gil's. Because they had a small backcourt in Detroit with Isaiah and Joe Dumars.
I don't want to derail you.
No.
So I want you to get back to your point.
Yeah.
When you're leading with Hardaway,
talking that big mess.
Giving Gil his flowers.
Yeah.
But I want to say this. Gil couldn't defend nobody.
At all.
So he couldn't play. That's my opinion. Anyway, go ahead.
You're right? That's another thing that these guys keep forgetting. In today's game, they have specialists.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, all you could do is shoot. Well, you wouldn't have got on the floor in the 80s and the 90s because you couldn't play both ways.
Right. Well, Mark Jackson wasn't a great defender.
No, but he tried.
But he was a heck of a playmaker.
But he tried on defense. So he didn't just like, oh well, I'm just gonna Olay. No, he gave us some effort. You know what I'm saying? Wait, you gotta go on and go to the basket. Like,
he wasn't a traffic.
No. But he roasted Brandon Jennings and Swaggy P. He said, bro, y'all wouldn't even got on the floor.
They too little.
He
said, I'll say this. Brandon Jennings is little, right? But he would have been one of the quickest dudes out there.
That's true.
But he probably would have been like I would say like a Mark Price. Now that's
high praise. Yo.
That is high praise.
Mark Price was what 50, 40, 90 guy.
True, but let's remember Jennings. Scoring wise, Jennings was like that.
Jennings could put the ball in the bucket.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that. What I was trying to get at is he would have been a setup guard for others because that's how they played. Like, you didn't really have ball dominant scoring point guards back then. They were setting everybody else up. They set the table, so he would have to do that.
Yeah.
But when he got open,
he gonna
knock the ball found him.
He could put the ball in the basket.
Yeah, and that's probably what Gil would have had to do too.
It's weird, man, because when you think about when you start thinking about the 90s,
Swaggy P too soft.
I agree. The 90s decade of basketball players, right? Of course, everybody says Jordan. All right, that's cool. We understand.
Y'all
Mike,
say that.
Mike was the first of his kind. Yeah, they're cool.
No, he wasn't the first of his kind. But he took it to a whole different level.
Yeah, but then when you got players, a lot of players that was in the 90s that didn't get the credit that I believe they deserve. The first name that came to my mind that don't get the credit they deserve was Mitch Richmond.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, won the Rookie of the Year.
He would have been a good comparison to Gill.
I mean, but he was bigger. Mitch was big. Yeah, he was a big guard.
You had to be in order to play.
So was J.R. Ryder. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about those kind of guys, right? A lot of these guys that was really, really good players didn't get the accolades because they had Clyde Drexler.
Yeah.
And then, of course, MJ in the East, Clyde Drexler in the West. And those two shooting guards dominated a lot of the accolades. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, Jordan dominated the accolades. Clyde is tough. Clyde is Clyde. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a top 75 player. Yeah. I wouldn't even try to take that away from him. Right. He deserved every bit of that. But I don't think Clyde was cast such a large shadow that others couldn't flourish in the West. Mm-hmm. You definitely like the difference between Michael Jordan and the next best player in the East, next best guard in the East was vast. Yeah. It was. It just was. Yeah. It was Michael Jordan and any guard. Yeah. It was vast. Yeah. Yeah. But Clyde, he was great. Yeah. Hall of Famer. Yeah. But the next best player up.
I mean, Mitch Richmond is a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? And
that's what I'm saying. Next best player up.
It wasn't that big of a gap. You know, another player.
It's just athleticism.
True.
That Clyde Drexler just being able to like bang it on you from the free throw line in the game.
Yeah, give it to you.
Yikes.
Give it to you.
Yikes.
Another player from that same team.
Yeah.
Chris Mullin don't get the.
He can't do the whole run TMC.
Right, just get the TMC, right?
Get out of here.
Yo, listen, man. He gets lost, in my opinion. The same thing with like it's unfortunate, but Larry Bird is starting to get lost in conversations.
No, he's not.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No,
man.
I don't think he's starting to get lost.
Chris Mullin is one of those guys, man. Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
3-time Big East Player of the Year when the Big East was legit.
Cool, but we ain't talking about college.
You're right. All right.
And then sure ain't talking about what is that? Syracuse he went to?
No, he went to St. John's.
St. John. I knew it was one of those S's.
St. John's.
Yeah. We sure enough ain't talking about
Mullin was nice.
He ain't go to Seton Hall. So who else you got?
That's it. I ain't dating nobody else. Who do you think from the 90s don't get their flowers?
That's a great question.
That really was like that. Who don't get their flowers? That's a great person. Yes.
Sean Elliott.
Do you know he would be a problem in today's game?
Yeah, he was a problem then.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, but he played his role. I don't think he got a title.
Yeah, he won one in San Antonio.
He won the one with Tim Duncan.
Yes, Lord.
Okay. Good.
Yep.
Good, but yeah. I think Sean Elliott is one of those underrated players from the 90s. Man, what year? Dang.
Well, we talked before 90s. It could be early 2000s. Guys get lost in that shuffle.
Well, one guy who gets lost, but then when you say his name, people go, "Oh yeah!" Like, and he's no longer lost is Brandon Roy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, go look at Brandon Roy and realize that he was balling before Kobe got to the league. Right. Like his game, he's probably a better shooter than Kobe was. But his career was cut short.
Yeah.
Injuries.
God rest this man's soul. I believe Reggie Lewis.
Oh yeah.
He was already a problem before he passed away. But his frame, his game translate all the way up to today. Long, athletic.
All-time great Celtic.
Man.
Yeah.
Reggie Lewis was a problem.
When you said God rest his soul, I thought you were gonna say Drazen.
Yeah, well, yes. Now look, once we talk about specialists, boy, you talk about a specialist.
He has skills that translate to any era. He could put the ball in the hole.
So look, all right, you brought my boy up.
Yeah. I know that. So I gotta tell folks.
Tell him.
That was your favorite player.
That was my guy. Yo.
Even when Jordan was out there.
That was my guy.
I know Jordan is your pedestal,
yo,
but
Petrovich was my guy.
Drazen was your favorite
so
player.
This is my question.
As somebody from Essex County, New Jersey, watching the Nets.
It's my guy, yo.
Drazen go off.
All right, here we go. Let's get real.
Yeah.
Let's debate this. Off the catch and shoot, you want Petro or you want Clay?
It's not fair.
Because you got more body of work with Clay?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you know that Jay-Z line, right?
Yeah.
You can die and be a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Yeah.
Clay has lived long enough
be a villain
for us to see him
Yeah.
not as good.
Correct. Now that's true.
We didn't get a chance to see Drazen's skills start to decline. His athleticism started to decline.
Yeah.
We watched Clay go through 2 brutal injuries, come back and still be able to put the ball in the
he
hole,
still shoot that thing.
But he's just not the same player that he was before the injury.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not fair.
Yeah.
But that's a great question.
Dude, listen, man. A great story. Danny Ainge tells a story. They're in Portland. This is before his Nets days, where they have a shooting competition. It's 50 best out of 50.
Yeah.
He said if he didn't make 49, he couldn't beat him.
Right.
Like that's how good he was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
like he was the first European player. Because he was before Tony Kukoc.
Yeah.
Right. So he was the first name that came into the NBA to make a mark for the European players. And then you had the Tony Kukoc to come in, and now you start to have those gates open up more for those guys. But Petro was one of the first, him and Sabonis.
Arvydas
Sabonis,
whose son plays now.
Correct. Those were the first two that I can remember that really competed, played well, and made a mark in the NBA back in the day.
All right, so I'm gonna mess my man name up because I didn't prepare for this.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
My man who played for Golden State.
Steve Marjanovic or something like that. Left-handed.
Something along those lines.
He's the first Manu Ginobili.
Another Euro. Yes, he was.
Boy, he would bang it on their head with the long mullet. Yeah, the mullet. Hey, boy, when you got a mullet, you know you in the 80s.
Mullets hit different though when they from the US.
Bro, he was tough.
Yeah.
Yes. I just saw a video of him. That's why as soon as I know exactly what you're talking about. Yo, he was giving people the work.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, there was a couple of them guys.
Another player that don't get his flowers that deserves more respect is Derek Coleman. Because you talk about a stretch 4. He was the first stretch 4 that I can think of.
Go ahead.
After him, you got the Keith Van Horns, you got maybe the GOAT stretch 4 and Lamar Odom were one of them, right? I'm not gonna call him the GOAT, but one of the great stretch 4s in Lamar Odom. Maybe he's underrated as well.
I would say yes. Utility 1 through 4, depending on the size of the 5.
DC was the first power forward, get the ball in the low post and back you out to the 3-point line
and shoot that thing.
Shoot it over you or go around you just because he can handle it.
North Carolina alum, Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah.
And then one of my
nicest
favorites
touches I've ever seen.
Hey, Rob would be a problem in any era.
Yeah.
Right? But one of my favorites, he gets his love. I'm not gonna say he don't get his love, but I don't think people understand how good he was. Chris Webber.
Yeah.
Listen, them power forwards back in the day.
But it's the moments, right? He has a negative moment that overshadows a lot of what was good about him.
It's an unfortunate thing, and you forget how good, not just he was, how good those Michigan teams was, how young they was to even be in a position to be playing in the national championship games. You know what I'm saying?
Being in the national championship game, calling a timeout when his team did not have any timeouts, which caused his team to get hit with a technical foul,
which basically
to the
lost
other
the
team.
game. UNC actually,
they lose the game.
They lose the UNC.
Yeah.
Now I'm about to throw one of your favorites out. This right here gonna get you excited. Before the injury, Larry Johnson. Had grandmama. Listen, he was 6'5", 6'6".
He was tough.
After the injury,
handle the rock. If you guarded him close enough, he was strong enough to just bully ball you.
Hey, man.
Get off.
Listen.
And one of the best dunk contest performances that no one ever talks about. No one ever talks about him in the dunk contest. But I remember watching that dunk contest after seeing it. I'm like, yo, put the coat hanger on the door. I got to try everything he just tried. And I didn't do it.
Yo,
I couldn't do it. I couldn't make
Larry
it.
Johnson was, and this is high praise in my opinion. he was similar. I don't think he was as good of a rebounder.
He's a great rebounder.
The person I'm about to say, I don't think he was as good as. He was a modern day Charles Barkley. Same size, might have been a better shooter from range than Barkley.
Yeah, Barkley's the worst 3-point shooter in the history of the NBA.
Dude, but you got that the wide body, rebound, athletic, put the ball coast to grab it off the glass, go coast to coast and dunk on
young Barkley might have been better at that than Larry Johnson.
Man,
because young Barkley could move. Even old Barkley would go coast to coast.
Yeah. So look, LJ was a problem. These are guys that, in my opinion, the guys we named, the Rasheed Wallaces. I mean, even Keith Van Horn. Like, I love that name that you threw out there because he was very underrated. He didn't have a long career because he chose family over basketball, which is fine. But he was tough.
Yeah, Tom Chambers.
Yes, that's another one, man. Man, these guys, boy, and I know that in today's NBA, the way the game is played is different. The style of offenses are different. But when you just talk about what they will be able to do on the offensive end, these guys will be able to play offensively in this era. Now, what made them different back in those days was you wouldn't get on the floor unless you played.
You had to play defense. You had to be strong enough to deal with the other guys on the floor.
That's right.
It was a physical game.
Yeah,
back then, you could hand check. You can basically pick a guy up. Yeah. You got a guy dribbling up the court. Mm-hmm. You meet him at half court and put your hand right on his head.
Derek Harper.
Yeah, who was the king of it. Derek Harper, huge hands. Yep. I would say he was underrated, but Derek Harper was the man in Dallas. Yeah. Yeah. And he came to the Knicks. Mm-hmm. He was great with the Knicks. Mm-hmm. So I think he got his flowers while he was hooping. Yeah. But Derek Harper was one of the best at putting his hand on your hip while you're trying to dribble the ball. And control you. He would spin you and take the ball from you. Yep. Nothing could feel less manly than having a guy spin you around and take the ball from you.
Yep. I mean, whether it was putting their hands on you or being able to put that forearm on you and body you up to keep you, to slow you down. That's why during a lot of the series of the Chicago Bulls and the Lakers, Pippen picking a magic 94 feet. He could bump him. He could poke at it, everything like that. And they wouldn't call it a foul. Yeah. That changes how you play offense. I don't care what you say. That changes how you play offense. It's the same thing that the Detroit Pistons did when they beat Shaq and Kobe Lakers. When that was one of the biggest upsets in the finals history is they forced them to bring the ball up slowly, which took them out of the offense because now you can't get it to Shaq and let him work.
Look at the squad. Like back then, your point guard with the ball up. Yeah. Derek Fisher? Yeah. Yep. I want you to give him the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'd rather he had a ball than Kobe.
Yep. And then to get it down to Shaq. That's right. Yep. Now, I'm going to tell you another player, in my opinion, who would have been pretty good in this era, probably been better than what he was in that era, but he still got his flowers. Robert Horry.
Yeah. Well, he got too many flowers. The dude got a
flower. He was 6'10", athletic, shoot. Of course, that's why they call him Big Shot Bob.
He would play like 10 minutes a game, but it was
important 10 minutes. It's important 10 minutes, man. He come out with 12 points. 12 points in the fourth quarter. He done hit 3 big shots.
Yeah, game winners.
God, boy.
Still in the game.
Man, I'm telling you.
That was good.
Now we're going to change it up.
That was good.
Because we got a little...
That was good. You made me... we spent like a lot of minutes on that.
Yeah, we did. All right, we done.
About something better.
Real quick, big time fight this Saturday. Got a little Tank. Little. He is little.
Okay.
He little.
You call him that.
I mean, listen.
Tank, I ain't say it.
I said it. I mean, I ain't gonna ever see you, so you can punch me in the face. So you little. It is what it is.
You go through Maryland all the time. He gonna beat you up, and then he gonna go after Shakur.
And then get.
I ain't say what was gonna happen. I'm just saying. All right. I'm just saying.
Tank against Lamont Roach. Now. Lamont Roach is a 130-pounder naturally. Yeah. Right. I think he's moved up to 135 to take this fight with Tank Davis.
Javante Tank Davis.
I think, unfortunately, Tank knocks him out late. Again, I think that's.
Why do you say unfortunately? What
because
are you mad at? What you and your feelings about?
Listen.
Let's talk.
All right.
It's just me and you.
It's just us, right? I'm just sick and tired of Tank.
Why?
Making all these excuses.
What excuse?
On why he won't fight Shakur. Well, like this is the most recent one. This is the most recent one I heard just today. I just heard it. Well, Shakur needs to fight Davis in order to fight me.
Davis.
Keyshawn.
Keyshawn.
Yeah, Shakur needs to fight Keyshawn Davis.
But they're in the same camp. They ain't gonna fight each other. They already said it.
He know that. But that's what he's saying. In order for Shakur to get a fight with Tank, he got to fight Keyshawn. It's like, come on, dude. Let's just stop playing.
You know what it is? Look, this happens time after time in boxing, man. You see boxers who are on a collision course. Mm-hmm. They're going to match up at some point, but you have to wait until the money is optimal.
Right, at its peak.
When the money is optimal, you got to keep fanning the flames. But when the money gets to that point where you need it to get, then y'all fight.
Yeah,
and he's right in that if Shakur fought Keyshawn, the winner of that fight would be a huge fight with Tank. It don't matter which one who won.
I agree with that.
It would be a huge fight with Tank.
I agree with that.
Tank got to look at Roach though, take him serious.
He better,
because I've watched Tank fight. I'm a fan because Tank is exciting.
He box off.
He's exciting to watch.
Yeah,
but he also he goes in, he gets touched a little bit. Then suddenly he knows how to move out of the way of punches. And he throws something back.
And it's night.
Yeah.
It's sleepy time.
Yes.
Did you take that tea? You took the tea? Yes, it is. It had melatonin in it, did it? Yes, it did. Because you sleep.
Gloves had melatonin in it. So I enjoy that, but I do worry that if you get touched by the right person early in the fight, you may not make it to those later rounds. And that's why people tune in to watch Tank fight.
So I got him beating Lamont Roach late. I got him doing the same thing that he did in his last couple of fights.
Okay.
Taking the first 3 rounds off.
Yeah.
Studying them.
Yeah.
By the 4th round, applying pressure, walking him down.
Yeah.
Because he's basically seeing if his punches power can keep him off. Similar to Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion, where it's like, if I know you can't hurt me enough to keep me off of you, then I'll walk you down in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, and then I'll put you to sleep. Right?
Well, anybody can knock out anybody. It's mainly just confidence.
That is true too.
I am confident that you can't touch me.
You can't knock me out
in a way that's going to knock me out.
Right. Now, here's the problem with that. This is why I think this could become a problem for Tank if he matches up with the right opponent. If Lamont Roach becomes this opponent and he's down in the fight and he's not able to knock him out, he loses on points. This is why I think he loses to Shakur. I don't think he gets the punch off. I don't think he gets to knock Shakur out.
Yeah.
Shakur is going to outbox him all night. As long as Shakur fights with range, Tank can't beat him. Tank is a boxer puncher, right? But because you've been knocking people out the way you've been knocking out, you rely on that. And then you get the right opponent who, you're not going to get that.
I agree.
That's what can happen.
Problem. He's a matchup problem for Tank.
Yeah.
But I say this, like, the thing that worries me about Tank is his recent comments about his dad.
What did he say?
He said if he had his father in his life, he wouldn't have to do this. He wouldn't have to be a boxer. So I don't know how to interpret that. That's the only piece of his conversation that I really, really caught on to.
Yeah.
But it makes me wonder if he has doubts about why if he has I'll say this, if he has ambiguity around why he's fighting. Why is he this boxer? Is it because of some emotions that he's holding on to relating to his family? Like I don't understand what that's all about. So it feels to me like he's the type of fighter who has been able to get it done to this point.
Right.
But can easily walk into the ring any given night, distracted, and go night-night.
You know what's funny, right? I didn't hear those comments, and those are big. You know how we hear stories about what drives a person to become great?
Yeah.
They become great, and now what drove them to become great is no longer necessary.
Right.
Now they become complacent, or they've accomplished everything they wanted to accomplish.
Right.
That's kind of what this
he's an accomplished young man.
He's made it. Like, he's out of whatever he was in.
Right.
He is set for life if he manages his money correctly.
And manages himself correctly.
Correct.
He's had legal troubles in the past.
Correct. So
and
that's what that sounds like. Though.
That's on him now. Yes, when you're 8, 9, whatever, when you're young, yes, parents guiding you through life is absolutely necessary. Now you this age. However old he is. What, 20,
you got whatever,
something like that?
He's young. He's young, but he's old.
Young.
Yeah.
He's young, but he's accomplished.
Right.
And now as an adult who's very well off, your behavior, your emotions, that's all on you.
Yeah, you got to be responsible now.
Yeah. You can't look for that anymore. Right. I mean, you can if you want to have a conversation.
But not in that way, though.
But
yes,
that's not.
Can't use that as an excuse.
Actually, I don't even know why. I don't even know what happened with his dad. So I shouldn't even made that comment like that. Right. I don't know the story there.
Yeah.
But my point simply is, you are who you are now. Mm-hmm. Your growth from this point forward is on you. Your growth from years ago forward has been on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you did a lot of things right.
Yeah.
Made some mistakes.
Life.
Just like a lot of us.
Life.
But you just gotta keep pushing forward. If you want this, if this is the career that you want to maintain and keep, I'll leave the daddy issues at home. Yeah. Or whatever that is. Like deal with that. Deal with that in therapy. Come in that ring with clarity and get it done.
Yeah. What you got this week? You got him winning?
Tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Tank winning. But because of that, I sat here thinking about, like, if I was a betting man, would I put money on Lamont Roach? Because I'm the type of person that would look at the odds and go, I could bet $1 and win 10.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
I'll take the bet.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I wouldn't go broke.
Right.
Thinking that I'm gonna get rich off of a Lamont Roach upset.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't take those.
I got Tank winning late, somewhere between 7 and 10.
Yeah.
By knockout.
Yeah.
By stoppage. But boy, it get close if it's in the 8th and the 9th round, and Lamont has actually avoided those punches and is looking fresh. I could see Lamont winning on point. I can, but I think he get hit and he go night-night.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Lamont Roach to say what kind of threat he poses. I just don't really see anybody dethroning Tank.
Yeah.
Unless it's Shakur Stevens or Keyshawn, someone like that. It basically somebody from Bud's camp.
So you know what? You brought up Bud. We're gonna end the show on Bud.
Oh, here we go.
Hey,
you on Bud?
Hey, puff it, pass it. So look, right? What you think about Bud punking T.O. on camera?
I missed it.
What? Yo, he told him, "Hey, yo, don't make me have to off you up."
You said who? He said that to who?
Bud said it straight to Teofimo Lopez's face. He's like, "Yo, do we need to talk?"
There's two different. They're way different weight classes now.
I agree.
Like Bud is trying to chase Canelo.
He is, but T.O. was talking that foolishness.
Now, if he come back down, that's a good fight.
I don't think it's a good fight.
I do.
I think Teofimo will get beat up.
I do. I'll say this. One thing I noticed about Crawford is he's a much better fighter than he was when he knocked out, he TKO'd Gamboa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I was watching that, watching clips from that fight the other day, and I'm like, Bud was just leaving himself out there in that fight, and Gamboa was getting off, right? I mean, Bud ended up stopping him, knocked him down like 4 times, 5 times, something like that. He can't fight like that against Teofimo. He can't fight like that against a guy in a boxer in their prime. And I know people say Gamboa was in his prime I don't think Gamboa was in his prime when he fought Bud. Right. But if he was down around that weight, I would watch, that would be a big money fight for me. Yeah. Because I like Lopez. Lopez is all heart and a lot of skill to go with it. Yeah. And Bud is the guy. So I think that would be a great fight. But a better fight is Bud versus Canelo.
Listen, man, let us know what y'all think. Tank Davis, Lamont Roach fight this weekend. It's going to be a good one, in my opinion. But tell us some of these basketball players in the 90s, early 2000s that don't get their flowers and that you believe could have hooped.
Who did we miss?
Yes. Who did we miss?
Yeah.
Because we want to be winning.
Because I could sit here and name names.
All day.
All day.
But we ain't going to name. We're going to get up out of here. So you know we're going to end it with the big one, right? I stay winning. I'm winning. I stay winning. I did it. I stay winning. I'm winning. Never losing. I'm winning. Or caught slipping. I did it. I stay winning. I'm winning.